decisive, overwhelming victories on the battlefield. Victories like few people have ever seen before. Tonight, Iran's Navy is gone. Their Air Force is in ruins. Their leaders, most of them, terrorist regime they led, are now dead. Their command and control of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is being decimated as we speak.
So let me give you guys a little bit of heads up, at least from a military perspective, on what's going on with Iran. Right now, all terrorism activity has been paused in Iran. Quite literally. There's no outgoing funds to any mercs. ISIS is now broke. Notice how there hasn't been any major movement from Hamas over the last 2 weeks. They're doing those piddly little things where they send one guy into Israel and he does something on the street corner and then he gets axed like he should. There are no major terrorist activities right now happening in the Middle East. And there's a reason for that. It's because the Ayatollah has been funding about 6 or 7 different groups in the Middle East for the last 20 years. Whether you are complaining about gas prices being a tad bit too high or not, that is a good thing. And if you want to continue to complain, by all means, we can keep on living in a shitty world that we have fucking ignored for the last 2 decades. What's up, Vinny? Okay? Don't complain about gas prices, guys. A big evil has been wiped off the face of the earth. And it's all because this guy was tough enough to freaking send our little... What was it that Peanut said? Our big old black Dorito that'll quote-unquote fuck up your shit. Yeah. The last country you should have fucked with is America. And there's a reason for that. There is no terrorist organization that can stand toe-to-toe with anything in our military whatsoever. And that's not a flex, that's just fact. The Taliban needed bombs in order to do any harm to us whatsoever in Afghanistan. They needed ambush tactics in Iraq. They literally, in Iraq, had to fund a 1 million-man army in order to fight off both the Marine Corps, Army, and Navy SEALs in order to even give us a wince of a problem. And when they did that, Ramadi is now a rubble. Fallujah, rubble. 3/4 of Baghdad, rubble. Whether you guys see this as a win or not, it is definitely a win. We're not losing in Iran, too, just to squash those freaking rumors that those stupid leftists are putting all over the internet. We're not. We're actually winning. They don't have a navy anymore. There has not been a single Navy vessel from Iran that has left any of their western side ports in almost a week. What do it's ya boys, Shades? What? Oh, what up, Shades? How you doing? Black Dorito chip will fuck up your shit. But, they don't have a Navy anymore. They literally only have 1/8 of the Air Force that they had left. Do not believe what Hassan has put on the internet saying that the Iranian Air Force is going toe-to-toe with our F-35s. That is a lie. It is a blunt lie. And if anybody does believe him, well, you're dumb. Our pilots have been flicking their little mosquito wing fucking planes out the sky for the past 2 weeks. And so has our Patriot missile system. Because Kuwait finally understood how to use it. It's not about funding Israel either, or helping them. This is not about helping Israel, not in the slightest. Nope. You guys don't realize this, but we've been fighting Iran for 20 years. Nobody understands that on the internet. We've been fighting mercs that Iran has been sending through Pakistan for almost 15 out of the 20 years we were in Afghanistan. Nobody wants to acknowledge that. Yet there are Marines all over X saying it's so. Because they've been there. You know how I know? Because I used to help them with reconnaissance operations up there in RC North. I've seen what those mercs could do. They're more brutal to the towns they went in Afghanistan than the fucking Taliban were. You know why? Because they were soldiers of fortune. They only wanted money. That was their motivation. They didn't care. They just wanted the money. And all throughout this week, all I've seen is a bunch of people in uniform bitching, moaning, and complaining that war is hard. Well, guess what? Don't join the fucking military. You should have known that the military would be difficult the moment that you signed your name on that dotted line. Take, for instance, that stupid Navy bitch that was complaining about her bunk being too small on a goddamn destroyer. What, you think war is comfortable? Yeah, okay. This man literally showed more courage in the last 2 months than any sitting president that we've had since the Declaration of Independence. He's competing with Abraham Lincoln right now. And it's stupid. It's stupid that you all are taking a dookie on him for it. All because gas went up by $1.50 everywhere. Gas didn't go up $1.50 because we were bombing Iran. Gas went up $1.50 because Iran started attacking civilian vessels carrying fuel out of Saudi. Notice how all of our tactics are towards the Ayatollah, while all of Iran's tactics are towards civilians. That should tell you the evil that you're going up against. But again, the internet is saturated with a bunch of pansies who don't have a lick of common sense, who are commenting on warfare when they have no business commenting on warfare. That's why I can't be on the side of everybody who agrees with Shoe on Head. I think that her video is absolutely stupid. We don't love war. We love kicking ass. There's a difference. When you fuck with America, you should be getting a size 13 crammed up your ass so hard you'll be worn as a slipper for about 2 years. That's why you don't fuck with America. That's why you don't throw bombs in the middle of NYC in front of Mayor Mandani's house. And then go Allah Akbar on, national television while you're being shoved into a cop car.
Speak, their ability to launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons factories and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left. Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks.
They did.
Our enemies are losing, and America, as it has been for 5 years under my presidency, is winning, and now winning bigger than ever before. Before discussing
I think it's funny that Europe has been hands off, even after they threw missiles at a base that was in the Indian Ocean.
In taking the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes.
Hey, dude, who paid for that base? That's my question to you, Shades. Who paid for that place? If you're American in my chat, you did. And it goes right back to the reason why we should not fund Europe anymore. We should leave their defense up to them. That is my firm stance. And I will never, ever go back on it. Because Europe has abused this whole entire America is a piggy bank to you. I want that stopped. I want us not funding the UN. I don't want us funding NATO anymore. It's a waste of our money.
That hit was quick, lethal, violent, and...
Oh, by the way, Trump, start freaking opening up every oil rig that you possibly can. Start making us independent of natural resources like we were back when you were president the first time. I get it, the Ayatollah pushed the button with you going over there and slinging Moabs at their foreheads, but at the same time, you can lower the price of gas. I have not driven my truck in almost a week and a half because gas here where I live is $4.13 a gallon, and I'm not paying $330 a week to get into my truck to drive it. Not happening. Good thing that Utah's got a great train system and it costs like not even a 1/100th of the price of it does to pay for gas. You guys made fun of me about my electric scooter, but god damn it, I got a mortgage to pay, you little fucks.
Respected by everyone all over the world. After rebuilding our military during my first term,
You're right,
we have
Vinny.
by
They
far
should
the
have.
strongest military anywhere in the
And
world.
should be the key
And now
word.
we're working along with Venezuela and are, in a true sense, joint venture partners. We're getting along incredibly well in the production and sale of massive amounts of oil and gas, the second largest reserves on Earth after the United
1,000,000%
States
correct.
of America.
Mm-hmm.
We're now totally independent of the Middle East, and yet we are there to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil. We don't need anything they have, but we're there to help our allies. Tonight, I want to provide an update on the tremendous progress our warriors have made in Iran and discuss why Operation Epic Fury is necessary for the safety of America and the...
Before he goes into this, guys, every time that he makes a tactical, situation report, I will tell you in layman's terms what that fucking means. Okay?
security of the free world from the very first day.
And here's why I'm doing this, because right now nobody in the VTubing scene can accurately translate what the heck he's about to say to you correctly. That's why. You got people like Shu saying we're losing. We're not losing. You're just a white suburban woman, dude, who plays fucking Democrat as a Republican. Okay? I completely lost faith in your channel with that last video that you put out, Shu.
I announced my...
I will not. The thing you are right about, yes, is that there are some batshit crazy Republicans, but at the same turn, we do not love war in the United States. Would I have preferred us not to go to war again? Absolutely. But don't insult my intelligence by telling me that we had no right to go into this war. We did. These Iranian mercs have been slaughtering Marines for the last 15 to 20 years. Get the fuck out of here with that opinion. That opinion is wrong. And you obviously didn't talk to anybody who's a military member to form that opinion. You got on your stupid little app that you sponsor, and you just made your assumptions from what the news is telling you.
My campaign for president in 2015, I have vowed that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. This fanatical regime has been chanting death to America, death to Israel for 47 years.
Yep.
Their proxies were behind the murder of 241 Americans in the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut.
Hey, Iran. This is a personal message to the Ayatollah. This is an American soldier trying to give you the middle finger on the internet for burning my flag in an open UN hearing, you pieces of garbage. F you. And I'm glad that you're getting hosed by our Air Force. F you. You're dog water.
The slaughter of hundreds of our service members with roadside bombs. They were involved in the attack on the USS Cole, and they carried...
You want to know why it hasn't been obvious? Because everybody pays attention to mainstream media thinking that they've been getting the Afghan war correctly for the last 20 years when they haven't. Mainstream media, guys, stopped giving a shit about Afghanistan about 6 years ago. I remember in 2014 when we actually had to escort those little idiots around RC South, and then they didn't get the stories that they wanted, so they packed up and they freaking left in a hurry. It wasn't like the American people should know how the heck their soldiers are dying. The only thing that they did was posted KIA photos. They didn't go into detail as to what those battles entailed. You didn't interview anybody. Shit, you weren't even doing it correctly in 2008. You did it to get a big, huge story out of the secret wet works of the CIA. The CIA was trying to find Osama bin Laden, you dipshits. That's the big story. And quite literally, the president that you libtards put into office, Barack Obama, stalled that for nearly 2 years. $22 million went to one satellite to watch his house for 2 years. When we had Navy SEALs that were born and ready to take his ass out, and he didn't do it. You did it when it was politically privileged of you to do so. And yet, the American people still gave you the bird because we elected this guy instead of Hillary Clinton, which I'm thanking God we elected this guy instead of Hillary Clinton. That is a venomous woman. And I would not want her to be president of the United States ever. She deserves to be in fucking prison for what she did for the 13 Hours event with those 4 contractors. That's where she deserves to be.
Out the countless other heinous acts, including the just horrible,
Thanks, Obama.
bloody
Yeah,
atrocities
I know, right,
of October 7th in Israel. Something that most people have never seen anything like it. This murderous regime also recently killed 45,000 of their own.
And yes, Palestine deserved it for that, by the way. I'll die on that hill too, Hassan.
People who were protesting in Iran. 45,000 dead. For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable
So are the terrorists dead?
threat.
By the way, I would like to
The most
apologize
violent
for
and
all of the
thuggish regime
Europeans
on
that are
earth would be
complaining.
free to carry out their.
You know what you new Europeans need to do? You Europeans need to shut the fuck up and get out the way. And I'm not talking about you, meme, in particular. I'm talking about the whole entire continent. There is no way you little wusses can say a dang word about what's going on in Iran. You don't even have the right to even open your faces about it or have any protests at all. None. You don't have any right to tell me as an American the president that I vote for. You don't have any right to do that. Fix your own parliament before you go screwing around with the way that my country does things. How about that?
Campaigns of terror, coercion, conquest, and mass murder from behind a nuclear shield. I will never let that happen, and neither should any of our past presidents. This situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been handled long before I arrived in office. I did many things during my 2 terms in office to stop the quest for nuclear weapons by Iran first. And perhaps most importantly, I killed General Qasem Soleimani in my first term. He was an evil genius, brilliant person, a horrible human being, however, the father of the roadside bomb. And he lived just horrible, what he did. Iran would have been perhaps in far better, stronger position. Had he lived, we would have had probably a different conversation tonight. But you know what? We'd still be winning and winning big. And then, very importantly, I terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, a disaster. Obama gave them $1.7 billion in cash, green cash. Took it out of banks from Virginia, D.C.
I wish to God I had a clapping thing that I could do with my model. A fucking clapping taunt or a prompt.
And Maryland, all the cash they had. He flew it by airplanes in an attempt to buy their respect and loyalty, but it didn't work. They laughed at our president and went on with their mission to have a nuclear bomb. His Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran, and they would have had them years ago, and they would have used them. It would have been a different world.
In a completely different company.
There would have been no Middle East, no Israel right now, in my opinion, the opinion of a lot of great experts.
So I suppose
had I not
that's a start.
terminated
Yes,
that
it
terrible
is.
deal, and I was so honored to do it. I was so proud to do it. It was so.
There's not a single European country that has a right to tell me as an American what to do. I don't care how many gay, trans, pride, alphabet mafia people you put on my television. You have zero right to tell me what to do with my home. Zero. Nada. Especially when we've been given the European Union, NATO, and everything else billions of dollars for the last, since 1951? Nah, shut up. Shut up. You don't deserve it. You didn't earn my tax dollars. You didn't earn my parents' tax dollars. You certainly as hell didn't earn my two little sisters and my brother's tax dollars either. You guys are failing there, and you need to start realizing it. That goes for the UK, Germany, France, Italy, Poland, Hungary, all of them. Spain, Portugal, the whole entire continent is failing. So before you start throwing stones at the good old red, white, and blue, you need to think about your little freaking blue flag with a bunch of gay-looking yellow stars on it.
So bad right from the beginning. Essentially, I did what no other president was willing to do.
Hey, dude, what up, Mondo?
They made mistakes, and I am correcting them.
Thank you for being on.
My first preference was always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt at
an agreement. Smarter than 99%
For this
of the
reason, in
population in
June,
Europe.
I ordered a strike on Iran's key nuclear facilities, an Operation Midnight Hammer. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Those beautiful B-2 bombers performed magnificently.
USA.
We totally obliterated those nuclear sites.
USA.
The regime then sought to rebuild their nuclear program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles and would soon...
You know what, Meme? You should feel insulted. You should. You know why? Because your whole entire continent insulted me first. Taking advantage of our generosity. I'm not even going to walk that back if you feel insulted.
Soon have had missiles that could reach the American homeland, Europe, and virtually any other place on Earth.
Quantum! Quantum! Thank you for the 5 gifted subbing ones, dude. Thank you for the 5 subs, dude. Thank you. Appreciate you, buddy. Welcome to the show, man. I'm not gonna lie, Trump cannot communicate anything clearly unless he's reading his script off the cuff, and he'll start embellishing everything and contradicting it himself. Yeah, which is why I'm here to comment on all of the military strategy. I'm going to translate it for you because I'm of military mind and I know what he's talking about. If I can understand Obama's bullshit, I can understand his, believe me.
They wanted to produce as many missiles as possible, and they did, with the longest range
fuck it,
possible.
I deserve it. We fuck around.
They had
we
some
get what we
weapons
deserve.
that nobody believed they had. We
hey,
just
at least you're a
learned that
European
we
that can
took them
admit
out.
that.
We took them all out so that no one would really dare stop them. And their race for a nuclear bomb, a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before. They were right at the doorstep. For years, everyone has said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, but in the end, those are just words if you're not willing to take action when the time comes. As I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, our objectives are very simple and clear. We are systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders.
Quantum?
That means eliminating Iran's...
Quantum, you've been an amazing support this whole entire last month, my man. Enjoy your dinner. What up, Gator? How you doing? Enjoy your dinner with your mom. Remember, hug your mother and drink water. 2 things that I will tell you. Hug your mother. Hug the shit out of her and tell her that a VTuber told you to do so.
Navy, which is now absolutely destroyed.
Happy birthday. Tell her the whole entire
Air
Kodiak
Force
camp
and their
says happy
missile
birthday.
program at levels never seen before. and annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their missiles are just about used up or beaten, taken to.
Yeah, so I'm going to squash this little rumor that's been coming out of Iran over their television system. They're saying that they have more advanced weapons hidden away. No, they do not. No, they don't. And here's how I know this. One, you hired mercs as infantry for 10 years. Every single time that you've done a missile attack, it's been in the middle of the year when your GDP has been highest, which means that you're making them one for one. You're literally making them and then launching them. So you relinquished that tactical strategy of surprise by doing what you've been doing to Israel for the last 10 years. So we know that that's a lie. Your Air Force is about 30 years out of date, and no way, shape, or form has it been kicking the F-35's ass because they've been shooting down your little mosquitoes for the last 2 weeks. Yeah, your Air Force is garbage. It's garbage. Your Navy has not gotten a single thing out of Iran in almost 3 weeks since we sent a whole entire naval division over there. And now, the thing you got to look out for is we have 250,000 Marines sitting on an aircraft carrier somewhere out in that Islamic Strait. And if you do anything that has to do with moving manpower out of Iran, we're going to go in there and we're going to fuck your shit up. It's that simple. You have nothing. You have nothing but idle threats and manipulation on your stupid little news network that you've literally been playing on loop for the last 2 weeks. The fact that you're going to Hassan Piker as something to put on these replayable ads that you keep on putting on television shows us how deep down the garbage heap that you actually are when it comes to funding this war that you started. Because you guys did start it. You started it 10 years ago and the American people forgot about it.
Together, these actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build.
Well, they can't do it now because every single one of their nuclear facilities is buried about 150 feet under, and they're all craters. He literally, when Trump first set out those Doritos, dude, to screw everything up, he didn't just target the nuclear facilities. He also targeted the weapons that were sitting next to them, too. So everything that Iran's been saying about them having hidden missile capabilities has been a lie. It's been a lie. They haven't really done anything. The first week they were launching missiles, and then after that, what happened? Missile deployment out of Iran has slowly gone down. Israel's reporting less of a destroyed country day after day after day after day after day, which means that they're running out of stockpile. Because now they're back to doing what they were doing before we bombed them, which is sending one or two little terrorists in there, screwing up a couple civilians, and then they try to get away. But then since Israel's not, completely wussified, they're just shooting them and getting it over with. Because Hamas terrorists are a dime a dozen. And now Hamas is going to starve in Palestine. Quite literally. Because it's not getting funded anymore. And Trump isn't sending aid to Palestine anymore. So good luck. You're not going to last long.
Build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces have been
this is Trump talking, not the script. I know.
Been anything like it militarily. Everyone is talking about it. And tonight I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion.
Any left, no.
As we celebrate this progress, we think especially of the 13 American warriors who have.
You know how you create nukes out of sand, Vinny? You pull out a spell book from a D&D narrative. That's how you make nukes out of sand.
Lay down their lives.
Oh God, wait a minute. You guys are Muslims. There's no creativity. There's no adventure. There's no exploration. There's no freedom there. So how can you have magic?
Lives in this fight to prevent our children from ever having to face a nuclear Iran.
Yeah, it is.
Twice this past month, I have traveled to Dover Air Force
China,
Base.
that's how?
And
China doesn't have the balls to do anything right now. Ping's got his own issues going on. Did you see that their GDP drops like almost a fifth since the year started? Do you know why? Because the tariffs that everybody said would be bad, this guy did it. He made them weaker. Not only that, but he pulled off Venezuela from them, so a third of their oil production per year goes out the window to $1 billion or a billion person population country. Good luck, China.
It's been something.
Oh, shit. Yeah, they have Russian and... Oh, wait a minute. Russia's a piece of shit right now because they just got their asses handed to them in a war in Ukraine. Oh, God, I'm so sorry, China. I didn't mean to forget about one of your allies out there.
I wanted to be with those heroes as they return to American soil, and I was with them and their families, their parents, their wives.
Yeah, that's true.
We salute them, and now we must honor them by completing the mission
Hi, Cora.
for which they
How you
gave
doing?
their lives, and every single
I
one
cast
of
a
the
spell.
people, their loved ones said, please, sir, please finish the job. Every one of them.
Evaporatus? What the heck?
And we are going to finish the
Some
job.
Harry
and we're going
Potter
to finish
type
it very
shit up in my
fast. We're getting
chat.
very close. I want to thank our allies in the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They've been great, and we will not let them get hurt or fail in any way, shape, or form. Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home.
Oh, here he goes.
This short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers
Yeah, I
in
know.
neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict. This is yet more proof that Iran can...
Yeah, technology is haram, yet you have like 4 streamers that are headlining kicks saying that they're Muslims. Biggest hypocritical bullshit statement of the year right there. If you have that on your 2026 bingo card for social media, you're a genius.
Never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly. It would lead to decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we...
Don't give people that hope, meme. The Muslim faith itself is not awful. Okay? If you take the Sharia law out of it, and you take and you don't believe in that harshness of the Muslim faith, if you take all of that evil crap out of it, Muslim faith has every right to exist just like every other one. It's the Sharia law part that makes it bad. That's the bad part of it. Unfortunately.
Can ever imagine. The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that.
Wait a minute.
We built the strongest economy in history.
What do you mean you disagree?
We're going through it right now.
What do you mean you disagree? Is this speech from a few days ago? Hold on. Let me check the timestamp on it. It was 6 hours ago, actually.
Strongest in history. In 1 year, we've taken a dead and crippled country.
Hi,
I
Zolo.
hate to say that, but we were a dead and crippled country after the last administration and made it the hottest country anywhere in the world by far with no inflation.
Before the Islamic regime took over,
coming
have you
into
seen
the United
photos
States,
of videos
over
of Iran in the
$18 trillion,
70s? Yes.
And the highest stock market ever with 53 all-time.
You want to know what's crazy? Afghanistan wasn't a shithole either back in the 70s. And then you had all of those Islamic terrorist regimes take over, and then it became a shithole. It was actually, Afghanistan was actually progressing upward at the same rate that Saudi Arabia was up until those people took over. So congratulations, Islam. You're doing things. That was 100% sarcasm. You're doing nothing but making your people into servants and slaves for your own murderous ways.
Record highs in just 1 year. It all positioned us to get
Oh,
rid
no,
of
it was
a
posted
cancer
6
that has
hours
long
ago.
simmered. It's known as the nuclear Iran, and they didn't know what was coming. They've never imagined it. Remember, because of our Drill Baby Drill program, America has plenty of gas. We have so much gas. Under my leadership, we're #1 producer of oil and gas on the planet, without even discussing the millions of barrels that we're getting from Venezuela. Because of the Trump administration's policies, we produce more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Think of that, Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. And that number will soon.
Saudi's only kneecapped right now because of Iran. Russia's kneecapped right now because now it's got to get out of a war that it's been in for the last 4 years. Guess what? None of our oil rigs were destroyed. They were just shut off. Not too smart a guy, Biden.
Soon be substantially higher than that. There's no country like us anywhere in the world, and we're in great shape for the future. The United States imports almost no oil through the Hormuz Strait and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it.
By the way, we're on for the
beaten
26th.
And completely decimated Iran. They are decimated, both militarily and economically and every other way. And the countries of the world that do receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it. They can do it easily. We will be helpful, but they should take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran, we had to do it ourselves. I have a suggestion. #1, buy oil from the United States of America. We have plenty. We have so much. And #2, build up some delayed courage. Should have done it before. Should have done it with us, as we asked. Go to the Strait and just take it, protect it, use it for yourselves. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done, so it should be easy. And in any event, when this conflict is over, the Strait will open up naturally. It'll just open up naturally. They're going to want to be able to sell oil because that's all they have to try and rebuild. It will resume the flowing, and the gas prices will rapidly come back down.
See, he'll do the same thing he did in Venezuela. He'll just do what he needs to do. He'll pull away, and he'll let the people take over. And if the people do it wrong and they fuck with America again, we're just going to do this whole entire charade all over again.
Prices will rapidly go back up. They haven't come down very much, frankly. They came down a little bit,
from the
but
United
they've had
States,
some
but my
very
state
good
is
days over the
retarded and
last
has
couple
to
of
use a
days.
very specific mixture.
Actually, much
it's only
better
made
than
in
I
a couple
thought.
places
We had
overseas.
to take that little journey to Iran to get rid of.
Dutch, I don't even know why you still live in California, bro. We call that California. We don't even consider California or New York at this point a part of the United States. They're their own fucking countries. And if you let Newsom do more to California, man, you're going to see a lot of interior states start doing what I'm saying, which is don't fund them anymore. That big-ass fraud that was caught 2 weeks ago? Nah, man. Nah, I'm tired of California, dude. Family? Get your family the hell out of there, dude. Tell them to leave. I won't walk it back, and I won't say it nicely. Leave. If you're a halfway decent person, leave California.
This horrible threat with our historic tax cuts, where people are just now talking about receiving larger refunds than they ever thought possible.
Screw Newsom.
They are getting so much more money than they thought. That's from the great big beautiful bill. Our economy is strong and improving by the day, and it will soon be roaring back like never before. It will top the levels.
For the first time since the Biden administration in quarter one of the NASDAQ, we've had all green numbers from the top 50 financial conglomerates. We had Biden for 4 years, and he never had them all green before. Think about that.
That it was a month ago.
What an
I've made
economic
clear from the
expert that
beginning
old
of
turd
Operation
was.
Epic Fury that we will continue until our objectives are fully achieved. Thanks to the progress we've made, I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly. We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change.
Meme, I'm not even going to read that whole entire thing. I've fought them, dude, and I've seen what they've done to their own people. No, there is no coming back from them, dude. There is none. The Middle East has to fix itself, and there's nobody else that can fix it for them. People who live in the Middle East, they have to start outing these groups that spawn out of nowhere. They have to. The main problem with Arabian countries right now is that there is no united front whatsoever with any of them. They keep on separating themselves into caste systems. And then those caste systems fight with each other like rabid little dogs with rabies. Because it's always the extreme in every Arab country. There is no hope for them. There's no peace for them whatsoever. And they got to start figuring it out. The civilians in those countries have to start figuring it out. They have to fight, actually physically do something to get these people out of there at this point. Because it's like cancer. Cancer doesn't go away unless you tie toxic material into a bag and put it in your veins. That's what terrorism is. Terrorism is a cancer. They're not what Hassan says. They're not a rebel group. They're fucking cancer.
But regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead. The new group is less radical.
I guess Dutch has more faith in them than I do.
Yet if during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes on key targets. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously. We have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all.
I never said that they couldn't convert over and have a moral compass. What I am saying is that you'll never get that moral compass into their lifestyle. Because their faith literally throws out the book if you start looking at other faiths. Look at what they do to gay people. They literally have videos on the dark web where they take them up 5-story buildings and just give them the boot, and then they land on their face and they leave the body there. They don't even call the cops. They just leave the body there for everybody else to look and stare at for like 5 to 10 days, and then they get rid of it when it starts to stink. That's the reality.
Because it would not give them even a small chance of survival or rebuilding. But we could hit it, and it would be gone.
Wild donkeys
and
of
there's
men
not a
who
thing
are
they could
in
do about
constant
it.
battle with each other
They have
and
no
their neighbors. That's
anti-aircraft
true, Zolo.
equipment. Their radar is 100% annihilated. We are unstoppable as a military force. The nuclear sites that we obliterated with the B-2 bombers have been hit so hard that it would take months to get near the nuclear dust, and we have it under intense satellite surveillance and control. If we see them...
See, guys, this is how you run a military. This is how you run the military. You don't do it the way that Barack Obama did it, and you don't do it the way that Biden did it. He's actually using our military like warriors. He is approaching this with a warrior mindset, which is what you have to have if you're going to go into battle. If you don't have that going into battle, and you start coming up with conflicting rules, that's how people die. Everybody wants to complain about five or six people. God rest their souls. And I feel bad for their families. But at the same time, you joined the military. If you put on my multicams and you are a part of the United States Army, you need to be prepared for battle at any given moment. That is what that uniform is for. That uniform is not for sitting on base in the middle of the United States doing absolutely nothing but sitting on your ass. You disrespect everybody that's worn that uniform since World War I by being a lazy piece of shit in the military. If you are in the military, you should always have your mindset on being ready for battle. That is your job. Battle is your job.
And make a move, even a move for it, will hit them with missiles.
The far
very hard
left
again.
will use Islam as
We
a
have all the
weapon to
cards they
undermine
have
the West.
none. It's
They
very
are already
important
doing it.
that we
Look,
keep this
look at Europe.
conflict in perspective.
Europe's fucked.
American involvement in World War I.
Chat moderators going
lasted
crazy.
1
That's all
year,
Twitch, not me,
7
man.
months and 5 days.
It's all because
World
I
War
have Trump
II
in the title.
lasted
That's
for
why.
3 years, 8 months, and 25 days. The Korean War lasted for 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days. The Vietnam War lasted for 19 years, 5 months, and 29 days.
Yep.
Iraq went on for 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days.
Yep.
We are in this military operation, so powerful, so brilliant, against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days. And the country has been eviscerated and essentially is really no longer a threat. They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer. This is a true investment in your children and your grandchildren's future. The whole world is watching, and they can't leave the power,
Exactly.
strength,
They need to fight for those countries
brilliance.
back
They just
because we
can't
tried helping
believe
them,
what they're seeing.
training them.
They leave it to your imagination, but they
with our
can't
military
believe
for
what
years
they're
when it
seeing.
comes
The
time to
brilliance
fight
of the
back, they
United
either
States
run or join the terrorists, or they just
military.
run and refuse
Tonight,
to fight,
every
no matter how
American
much
can look
military
forward
training
to a
we give
day
them,
when we are
or how much
finally
protection
free
or
from
money
the
we give them.
wickedness
It's
of
ultimately up to
Iranian
them to fight
aggression
back
and
and,
the specter
not
of
be cowards
nuclear
about it.
blackmail. Because of the actions we have taken, we
That has got to be the truest, most honest chat line I've ever had in my chat, Vinny. I have never heard that much honesty and that much common sense in my chat at all when it comes to this particular topic. Absolutely, they need to start doing it. Because if they're the only ones that can fix it. I can't fix it for them. Shu is right. Our whole entire pedigree of whacking leaders and then putting in a new one doesn't solve the problem. See, he's only whacking the leader and getting the fuck out.
We are on the cusp of ending Iran's sinister threat to America and the world. And I'll tell you, the world is watching. And when we do, when it's all over, the United States will be safer, stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it is.
Or, not take the Quran so effing literally. You want to know something, Mikey? You cannot pull that from their culture because they've ingrained it so much. They've literally had terrorists putting, firearms to the back of their head to implement that mindset. You know how long it's going to take? It's going to take you about 2 or 3 generations to get away from that. It's only going to get messier in the Middle East before it gets better. And everybody thinks that we're the proprietors of this mess. No, we're not. We're not the proprietors. The only war that had no sense to it whatsoever was Desert Storm and Desert Shield. Because all of us know that that was just a Bush vendetta against Saddam Hussein. We all know this, and we all curse the Bushes for giving us that. Because I know right now, George W. Bush deserved that shoe at that interview when he was getting questioned by those reporters. He 100% deserved to have that shoe thrown at him. Because he carried his daddy's little freaking baby fest into his presidency. You want to blame anybody for 9/11, don't blame the United States and its people, Hassan. Blame George W. Bush. Blame the Bush era, absolutely. Because they're the ones that poked and prodded that bear, and then it came back and bit us in the ass. We didn't ask for that. Hell, we didn't even ask to go into Iraq to begin with. There should not have ever been a ground invasion of Iraq. What you should have done is done what Trump did with these Ayatollah guys and put a Moab bomb on Saddam's forehead, but you didn't. Instead, you sent a whole bunch of infantry guys to die under some BS rules that the UN came up with. So congratulations. Hi, Lumi. Oh my God. She's on a 7 streak. Nice job, Lumi.
Has ever been before. May God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much, and good night.
God bless the United States of America. That's all that needs to be said. Now, everybody wanted me to react to Shoe on Head's video. And here's my message toward you, Shoe. I think that you are a woman who is in your right mind, and I think that you're a very, very moderate person, but at the same time, your whole entire take on this thing has been absolutely wrong. We've deserved to kick Iran in the face for a hot minute now. Now, the religious fanatics that are in office right now, you're right on about that. 100%. You're right on about that. We don't need those religious fanatics in office. We don't. But at the same time, we do deserve to kick Iran around a little bit. We do. They've been straight up harming Marines for a while, and you did not put that in your video at all. It's like you did zero research on what Iran was doing before this point. You just spat out a whole bunch of freaking verbs and shit, thinking that you're the smartest white lady in the room. You don't know warfare, so stop talking about it. And 2, the United States does not like war. We like winning. There's a difference. Perception is reality. Lots of people will vote Democrat or abstain from voting because of this war. Doesn't matter what justification is for it. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, let them vote Democrat. They're allowed not to like it. But that's also a shit take on your part. If you do vote Democrat simply for the fact that we're in a war with Iran, that's a crap take. You want to throw common sense out the window? Look at where that's gotten us over the last 20 years. Where are we right now? We have a whole bunch of toxic alphabet mafia people dictating feelings of the United States right now. So go ahead, vote Democrat. That just tells me that you're stupid by default. There are a lot of old warmongers in office, though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can say that all you want, but saying that we don't deserve to kick Iran around a little bit, that's a complete false narrative. And I'm not the one that put those 2 right-wing Republicans that she was talking about in office either. I've never lived in those 2 states, so I've never participated in that. We are at a silent civil war era. Well, what are you talking about socially? In the United States, it's not silent, it's loud. Look at how many freaking chud VTubers there are now, bro. It's not silent, it's loud. Because us chuds were tired of being quiet about it. Hell, people call me over-aggressive because of it. But I won't stop. I won't change my views and I won't change my opinion. Because I stayed quiet long enough.